Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing another StarCraft 2 game, this time between BlastTefel, who is playing Zerg, and TSLHyuN, who is also playing Zerg. So both of these players, we've seen a lot of them, and they are both really good players. So this is part of some tournament. I forgot the name of it. It doesn't really matter. It's all about well, them just playing well. Because even in the biggest tournaments, people can play crappy games, though it's not as likely. But yeah, well, two great players. What can go wrong, right? So anyhow, just a random Zerg versus Zerg. I don't know if this is a good match or not. We will have to see from the results of it. Well, from the play, I guess. So going for that extractor trick on one side, but not on the other. Not bothering with it. It gives you a little bit more minerals in the end, but yeah, it doesn't really matter too much, as we will see. I've even forgot who did it, but it doesn't matter. Gives you like 20 more minerals. On the other hand, you don't really have anything else to do in that early stage of the game, so you might as well go for it if you know how it's done, because if you don't know how it's done, then obviously you're going to mess up, and it's going to cost you 30 minerals. So you don't get anything out of it. But yeah, it's all about getting that little bit earlier drone out, or no, yeah, well, yeah, that's what it is. It's an earlier drone. You actually produce a drone while creating your overlord instead of waiting for your overlord to finish. So it's a few more seconds, but you also lose a couple of minerals, I believe 25, on creating that. Oh no, it is 25, so you lose about 7 or so. On cancelling that extractor, you lose like 7 or 8. I forgot what the percentage is, so it doesn't really matter. But an extractor is really cheap, so cancelling that would lose you, I believe, 1/4 or 1/3 of your minerals. It's 1/4 in fact, because if you cancel a base with anyone with except for Zerg, you get 300 back, and the bases cost 400, except for the Zerg base, which cost 300. But then you sacrifice a drone, which is 50, so it's 350 versus 400. It's an equal trade, I guess. So yeah, the queen's coming out, and normally we see 2 queens being produced, one to inject the larvae and then run here, and then the second one to just stand there. And that's exactly what's happening here. This one running towards that, and the one Zergling is going to get the scout, going to see that nothing is up yet, and yeah, therefore a little bit too early. So the speed is coming out for the Zergling. Well, the Zergling speed is coming out. The Overlord retreated because, of course, the queens can actually attack them. And we see more and more drones coming out. Of course, some Zerglings as well to defend the thing. Yeah, lots of Zerglings coming out, in fact. Those are, yeah, quite a lot of them. Wow. 24 versus 8, and he is going for an all-in here with the Zerglings. If it works out, then obviously it's not really an all-in, because then he can still well, go into the late game, but he needs to do some damage with it. And it seems that the production from our blue player was to create just as many of them. But he does get some damage done. It's not a whole lot, but we will see the damage in the end. Oh, losing all of his Zerglings there. So 21 to 12, and the production is, well, equal. And let's see the units lost while we follow around his base. 30 units lost versus 12 units lost, and 2 workers got killed by the red player, I believe. Well, yeah, that has to be. So yeah, not really worth it. The banelings coming out because of course these guys just keep on building everything. Does this guy have a baneling nest? Not yet. So it's going to be baneling Zergling versus only Zergling, and that is going to be hard to get to get up against. That was really useless. Killing the come on, what is it? The larvae. But yeah, 3 larvae for 3 banelings, that's of course not worth it. Losing 2 queens there. And yeah, all of the Zerglings go down on both sides. Only 4 Zerglings still remaining. And yeah, a couple here. Man, low amount of units here, because everyone gets killed all the time. And once again, the blue player, yeah, does have the production to keep up with the red player, and the red player just running in more. Yeah, it's all back and forth. And yeah, this is going to make the difference. 2 banelings coming out, they can wipe out this entire wave of Zerglings, if microed correctly, or if exploded correctly. And can he actually make it work? No, the red player running away, making sure that 1 or 2 Zerglings can be targeted at max. And yes, there we go. Getting about 4 with that baneling, but it's not going to be good enough. Actually picking off the queen there. And wow, this is such a high pressure match. So yeah, finally we see a spine crawler coming up. No spine crawler over there though, so he's going to have to block the ramp with the queen or with some other units. The Zergling's going to come in. The Zergling's on the other hand going to come in as well for our red player. So the overlords do see this coming in. Oh, running past each other. And yeah, the 2 queens on the ramp, they're going to hold off this little bit of a push. And 3 queens out now. They're going to defend. The Zerglings don't want to run into the main base. Main base of course has some defense with that queen as well. And the Zerglings just going to come in. Just going to, well, man, the Zerglings are going to try to chase down these Zerglings, but more Zerglings have been produced, so the red player no longer at an advantage. He did get a little bit of an advantage early game because he got the 2 drones, but by now that will all have equalized. And it is 18-1 though, so he got a lot of drones in the process of harassing. Well, he has been in the mineral lines quite a lot, so I didn't see all of those drones being picked off. But yeah, he was in these mineral lines especially a whole lot. So yeah, I was trying to focus on the fights, but of course the drones getting killed are much more important to follow. So sorry about that, but at least you do get the numbers there. And it is all about that, well, lost income now. So let's see the income. The income is pretty much the same. The army values, yeah, pretty much the same. There's about 200 mineral difference and 100 gas. So what is 100 gas? What did he produce? Oh yes, roaches out. Okay, excellent. So roaches are out. He's going to try to re-expand, but that is not going to work out. Going to have to cancel that, I believe. Yes, there we go. Cancel to 25 back, so he loses 75 minerals there. It's not a really big deal. New one is coming up. But yeah, it's all about those roaches now, because the roaches are going to do pretty well. They are armored, so they have armor 1, which means that the Zergling damage, which is 5, gets reduced by 1. And yeah, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that's 20% reduced damage. That is quite a big deal. So that 1 armor is going to, or may actually save him. Of course they do 16 damage instead of 5, so armor is not going to be really good against them. Yeah, all in all, the Roach is just going to overpower those Zerglings if they can keep in the fight. Yeah, of course, Roach on the other side as well, because the best counter to Roaches is Roaches. Infestation pit on both sides. I saw it on the other side as well. There it is. They both were researching this, the starting energy of infestors, and then they're going to produce some infestors, I believe. Yeah, so infestors already underway for our blue player. The fungal growth is going to do really well against the Zerglings, as well as the Roaches, because it does extra damage to Roaches, to armored units, and yeah, as I said, armored. So once the infestors are out, this whole thing changes, the whole battle changes, and the fungal growth, as I said, it does 10 extra damage, which is hang on. It does 10 extra damage, which is quite a lot, to armored, and yeah, that's 33% additional damage. So, although it doesn't seem like a lot from 30 to 40, it is quite a big difference. And it is an AoE spell, so you can hit the entire group with it. And yeah, well, one drone getting caught here. There was a scouting drone, of course. It was trying to hold this Zelnaga tower. And man, so much going on in this game. So we see the Roaches coming in. They're going to attempt to kill this entire base. The Queen goes down. The infestors are going to go down. One of them immediately goes down. There goes the fungal growth. And the rest of the army now in here. There go the infested Terrans on both sides. And they are going to do some damage. The Roach is still in here. The infestors are out. They are out of energy. They don't want to be here anymore. And yeah, the red player just getting owned here, but the infested Terrans may actually pull it off. No! Wow, the blue player completely out of everything then? Because he was owning with these amount of Roaches. Okay, so blue player actually, well, too far behind he feels, and doesn't really want to continue this fight. I think he was still pretty well into the game. Well, he did lose most of his base, but well, his drones are still mining, so not actually sure. He's 20 Roaches behind. Okay, so that may actually explain that. I just didn't see those Roaches, and he probably did with one of his overlords. But yeah, all of these Roaches are coming in. And he did lose all of his infestors, I believe, where the red player got to keep all of his infestors. That's 4 versus 0? Yeah. So yeah, that would explain that. Anyway, sorry for the mess up there. The blue player did win this fight. It's just that he couldn't come back from it. And, well, with the infestors, yeah, we saw them running out over here for our red player. He still kept his 4 infestors. And, yeah, didn't really... Well, the blue player didn't feel he could come back. And, well, after reviewing this, I think he's right. He probably couldn't come back from that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG!